With Acey Slade, Acey Slade and the Dark Party. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it having you here. How are you anyway?
Sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah.
Jamie didn't give it to you now.
He didn't. You did.
Sorry. I've had mine for 4 weeks though.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah, so I hope you don't count it for 4 weeks. So I know you've only played like 2 shows. How's it been so far?
Oh no, we played more. We played about a week's worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
Yeah. You've
cool.
dusted all in England so far, has it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been good. Good reception and everything.
Very good reception.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially like some of the places that have always been good to me have been even better this time around. So.
Brilliant. That's really good.
Yeah.
So you've been in Ireland before? Yeah.
One time.
Yeah.
One time, and I didn't see shit.
Yeah. Were you just in Dublin though? Yeah. So you didn't get to see much of the countryside.
Mm-mm.
So this time you got to see a lot more of it.
Yes.
What did you think?
Oh, it's beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
We saw 2 castles today, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And we stormed both of them.
Brilliant.
Yeah, some lady was trying to convince us to go to a cottage as well, but...
No, a cottage is a cottage, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see a castle.
No,
yeah,
exactly.
I want to see castles,
Yeah.
And how are the castles? Good?
They were awesome, actually. They were really cool, yeah. Like we were totally, our tour manager, Jamie, was joking around. He's like, oh, you don't want to go to that castle. That's a tourist's castle. But we're tourists, We live in New York and we make fun of tourists all the time. Now it's our turn to be annoying,
Yeah.
Walk slow and look up at the sky and say dumb shit,
I know. Yeah, like they do.
Exactly.
We get it a lot here. They walk around slow in pairs.
There's a lot of tourists in Limerick?
Yeah, we do.
American tourists?
We actually do get a lot of Americans. You
Really?
can kind of spot them really far off because they all have like matching jackets and hats and cameras and shoes. It's generally older generation Americans. It's quite funny.
That's so funny because we saw some in Cardiff last night.
Yeah.
And again, our tour manager, like we saw this couple and they were wearing like red, white, and blue matching jackets, and we're laughing at them. We're like, people in America don't really dress that way. And Jamie's like, really? We're like, no. He's like, because all the tourists do that. They wear matching clothes.
I think it's to spot each other. I mean, Ireland isn't that big. You can spot each other from across the room. It's not like it.
Well, they shouldn't be too hard anyway. Americans are usually pretty bad dressers, so they have bad fashion sense. So.
It's generally only in the Midwest, though. Yeah, because I used to live in the Midwest.
Oh, where'd you live?
Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's generally only in the Midwest that they dress pretty bad. On the coasts it's not so
it's
so
not as
bad.
bad. That's true, but there's a lot of space in between.
I know. Yeah, there is. I saw some acid wash denim there the last time. I was just like, yeah.
But then it gets weird because then acid wash denim comes back
coming
into
back.
style and you don't know what to do.
Maybe it's not too much, but you see, they still have like the high waisted.
But that's in too.
I know.
And I gotta say, I don't like that on girls.
No.
Yeah.
Or the low waisted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hip huggers.
Hip huggers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ask you a bit about your fans. Tell me your funniest fan story.
Oh, jeez. Funniest? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we had a guy the other night that he wouldn't leave us alone, and he kept trying to steal things from the dressing room.
Nice.
And he was like really kind of obvious about it. Like I'd take a necklace off, and he'd start like, hey, dude, are you about to take that necklace? But, no! And so I don't know. There's a lot, but I can't think of one in particular. I mean, in general, I'm very fortunate that I have really good fans. Yeah.
They're really loyal and dedicated. Because I think it was on your Facebook page the other day, and say you had so many fans, and the next day it had jumped up by 200-300 already, so it jumps up every day. A lot. It's really good.
Yeah.
Because I had your MySpace, your Facebook page, and the Wikipedia page open all at once, so I was just like, okay. Yeah, so it was good.
Now we've got a new weirdo fan story.
Yeah, I really do. Stalking. That's what I do,
Sits at home with my Facebook page, a MySpace page.
And the Wikipedia page.
I do the interview from over here now.
You should. It's my coughing, you're getting more sick.
Now it's going to be 5 weeks of sickness.
Have you ever been starstruck yourself, or do you get starstruck?
Yeah, I was on tour with in this band Amen. I played guitar for them for a short time, and we were out with Brides of Destruction with Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue.
Yeah.
And him and I got to become good friends, and so I would ride on their bus sometimes, and like, that part of the reason why I got into performing was that, that Motley Crue Home Sweet Home video, showing them on tour.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I didn't understand the concept of touring so much in the video, and I'm like, that must have been the Philadelphia concert because they did all those things. Like, I don't know, I thought the bus picked them up at their house in California, then they drove to Pennsylvania, did the show, and drove back. And then so to be on Nikki Sixx's bus, I just think, wow, this is cool. And then, but he was such a cool guy and so down to earth, and we'd go grab coffee all the time, and we'd just be talking about dumb things like, yeah, man, I hate the way my Doc Martens fall apart. Yeah, me too. And somebody would come up to him and be like, oh my God, you're Nikki Sixx, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot, shit.
So that was really cool. You guys still good friends?
I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Yeah. You never know. If you saw him, you'd be like,
oh yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. I'm just going to ask you a bit about music now.
Sure.
What first got you into music?
Well, it started in the church choir.
Yeah.
And it was all right. But then we did the whole Stations of the Cross thing as a musical and as a play. Watching Jesus get crucified just was awesome. As a kid, because they had fake blood and stuff, I was just like, wow, that's awesome. And they put a spear in him. I'm like, yes! And so that was pretty cool. And then I remember a couple weeks later, I saw Alice Cooper, and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess this is what it's all about, And I got an Alice Cooper t-shirt, and I was trying to wear it to school, and my mom's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, but it's just like Jesus. It's like the same thing. And so, that church choir, but it led to rock and roll very quickly.
Oh, cool. That's actually weird because Paramore, they all met at church. And they're a big band now as well. So just so random.
Yeah, but they probably liked more I don't know. I like that whole crucifixion, rising from the dead thing.
Yeah.
They were probably more into I don't know, the manger scene or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, so you grew up Catholic then as well?
No, actually Methodist.
Oh, Methodist, okay, yeah. Because Catholics usually stick to the gore and scare you to death with crucifixions.
No, I'm a lace curtain Irish. Is that right? Is it the Protestants or lace curtain Irish?
I think so, I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just call it the Protestants.
Oh, okay. Orange, right?
Orange men.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the first band you were ever in?
First band I was ever in.
Or started,
Oh yeah, in high school.
Yeah.
We started off as Andromeda, and then we changed our name to Grenadier. And that was that. That's the end of that.
What was the first album you ever bought?
First album
with your own money,
Ooh. I don't remember because I got a job at a record store. That was probably one of my first jobs.
Yeah.
But the first one I bought, I think, was maybe Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, or I think that was it.
That's really good. So then, a few years later, hanging out with Nikki Sixx
and
Motley Crue.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What else do you listen to right now?
I listen to everything.
Yeah.
I just got the new Mannix album. I love the Manic Street Preachers. I love Placebo, Prodigy. Anything that's alphabetically in, I guess, the LMNOP area right now.
It seems like that. Yeah. So you just listen to pretty much everything.
Yeah. I don't really listen to much, like metal these days.
Yeah.
It seems like there's this whole new wave of retro thrash type stuff, and it doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah. You just prefer because I like a bit of Placebo and Manic Street Preachers as well.
Well, I think you can bring that stuff. My guitar player Andy and I were talking about it earlier, and there's that thing, and then there's this whole social distortion rock thing, and and Andy put it so well. He's like, a lot of those bands they say, oh, we're carrying the flag for that type of music, and really they're not. They're contributing to the demise by just rehashing the same thing and not bringing anything new to the table. Yeah. And so to me, I think that you have to look outside of, if you are a social distortion band and you only listen to, Backyard Babies, and you only listen to the Super Suckers, and you only listen to Rancid, well, then you're gonna sound like
it's gonna be so samey. Yeah, you need to bring in different things, don't you?
Exactamundo.
Is there anything that you listen to that you're ashamed of? Like, do you have a shame band that you listen to?
The Bee Gees are really good songwriters.
That's retro though. It's vintage now.
Oh, that makes me a hipster then, huh? Wow.
Yeah. What was the first concert you ever went to?
Iron Maiden and Twisted Sister.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
brilliant. How old were you?
I forget if I was 13 or 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
Somewhere in the
ballpark.
middle. Was it 14, 15?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just want to talk a bit about your band at the moment, Acey Slade and the Dark Party. How did you meet the lads that you're in the band with at the moment?
Andy is a ferocious guitar player. I think he's probably the best guitar player in New York, and I saw him play in his old band a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I just always had him in mind, like, that is a guy I want to be in a band with.
Yeah.
Percy used to come see my old band, and he played bass and keyboards, and I knew that eventually I would want to do something that had some keyboards in it, so he was back here. And Andy knew Matt, our drummer, and I had got very lucky. I called up Andy. I said, hey, I've got this album. It's almost done. I want you to play guitar on it. Can you do that? He said, yeah. He laid some guitar down. He was in the band. Percy, I called him up. I said, you want to be part of the live band? He said, yeah. And then he contributed a little bit on the album too. And Matt was a friend of Andy's, and he was one of the first people I talked to. So there wasn't a real long process as far as finding these guys.
Cool. Yeah, so it's just like you always had them kind of in the back of your head. And, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So you were kind of like mentally building your band.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's good though,
Yeah.
It's talent. Your music right now, it's so different from everything that's been in previous bands. Can you tell us how would you describe your sound now?
I think it's post everything.
Yeah.
I like that term. Just because, I mean, it's like, I listen to a lot of rock, I listen to a lot of metal, but I listen to a lot of pop. Like in the van, we listen to Kylie Minogue, and I love Gwen Stefani and stuff like that. I mean,
Kylie Minogue, no, that's a surprise.
So I don't know. I don't like to classify it as any one thing. So just post everything, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The songs, what are they mainly about?
A lot of them to me are kind of about, on this album anyway, they were kind of about feeling alienated, or about people who have felt alienated.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I wanted to alienate myself from all these other subgenres.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of always felt like I was an outsider anyway, so.
So you're definitely speaking to like a generation, because I think more and more people are starting to feel a bit alienated as well. It's not like there's no kind of groups anymore. I think everybody feels a bit alienated now.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're talking to those people as well. A little bit.
I hope so. I mean, to me, that's, one of the things that I want to continue that with the next record. The next record is really going to talk about, people who have made changes in the world, not so much. There's a lot of political albums where people talk about, I mean, do we need one more album that talks about what an asshole George Bush is?
I know,
no, we don't. To me, because that's kind of a bummer to think about that.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather, have songs maybe about like somebody like John Lennon who's made a difference, or people in the Black Panther Party who made a difference,
Good. Yeah, now tell us about the album that you're touring with right now.
Well, that would be The Dark Party.
Yep.
And the whole idea with the title was, it's like, the idea is like a celebration of kind of dark things,
Yeah. And how long did it take to record it altogether? Like the recording and everything?
It took a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it was recorded in piecemeal while I was, I've always kind of been a bit of a hired gun guy.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to walk away from that. And not only that, but working with a drum and bass producer, which was something that was so foreign to me. I wanted to do an album where I wasn't writing with guitar.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for me sometimes, but ultimately it came out great.
Who's the drum and bass producer that you're...
DJ Stacca,
Okay.
who actually, he's from Brighton, and he's kind of like one of the first guys to do it.
So tell us, where can we get the CD from and everything? iTunes, usual stuff?
iTunes, some record stores are carrying it throughout the UK and Europe. And you can get it on the Trash Pit Records website.
So you can reach you obviously on MySpace and Facebook, as we found out earlier by my stalking. Do you have any last words for our audience out there and your fans?
Oh, you just keep being you, baby.
Thanks very much for coming on the show. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to the performance later. So.
Well, you say that now, but you're going to be tremendously let down, I assure you.
I doubt it. So I really doubt it. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.